What makes BTS's V always stand out? From his emotional music to his unexpected style, his creativity seems to never run out. But what exactly is his source of inspiration? For the first time, V finally reveals the secret behind his creative streak that keeps him going. Kim Taehyung, better known as BTS's V, has become a symbol of limitless creativity. Since his debut with BTS, he has shown that he is not just an idol, but also an artist with unique thoughts and expressions that always leave a lasting impression. Many wonder, where does the inspiration that makes him so different come from? How does he continue to create something new that not only captivates fans, but also changes the way people view art in the K-pop world? In an exclusive interview, V finally spoke in depth about how he sees the world and what is the source of his creativity. For him, creativity does not come from something that can be predicted or forced. Instead, creativity is born from the little things that others often overlook. For Taehyung, inspiration comes from things that are often considered ordinary. He sees beauty in simplicity, finds stories in silence, and turns them into something alive in the form of music, photography, and even his way of expressing himself on stage. However, it's not just nature or the atmosphere that inspires him. He also mentioned that the people around him, especially the BTS members, play a big role in shaping his way of thinking. V is also known as someone who often explores various forms of art. Music, photography, painting, and even fashion style, all are part of him. He doesn't want to limit himself to just one form of expression. In a fast-paced and demanding world, he chooses to walk at his own pace. He can disappear for a while, only to return with something stronger, deeper, and more surprising. However, there is one thing that is most interesting about the way he works. Imperfection is part of the process. Unlike many artists who try to perfect every detail before releasing their work, Taehyung actually enjoys the imperfection. This way of thinking is what makes BTS's V always stand out. He doesn't follow the flow. He creates his own flow. While the K-pop industry moves at a fast pace and full of strategy, he stays true to his intuition. Many wonder, is this approach what makes him so different? Is it because he doesn't follow the rules of the industry that he becomes someone who is always awaited? Aside from music, Taehyung also has a deep interest in the visual world. He often shares atmospheric black and white photos, capturing seemingly simple moments that tell their own stories. On many occasions, he has spoken about his love for photography and how he sees the world through a different lens. Not only that, fashion is also a part of his self-expression. V's style of dress is often unexpected, from classic elegant suits to casual outfits that look unplanned, but still have his own unique touch. He doesn't just follow trends, he creates them. Many designers and photographers have acknowledged that V's aura and taste in dressing make him one of the biggest fashion icons in K-pop. However, behind all that, there is another side of Taehyung that people may not know much about. He is a person who often reflects, who prefers to spend time alone to think and explore the ideas in his head. On several occasions, he has revealed that he often feels connected to art more than anything else in this world. With this way of thinking, it is no wonder that V always has a unique approach to each of his projects. He is not in a hurry, does not get caught up in other people's expectations, and always tries to stay true to himself. When asked about what he plans to do in the future, V simply smiles and says, "I don't know. I want to do something that makes me happy. I want to create something that I can be proud of. And I want to do it my own way." That answer may sound simple, but there's a deeper thought behind it. Taehyung isn't trying to be like anyone else. He just wants to be himself, and perhaps that's why his creativity has always felt so special. But for all the freedom and creative exploration he enjoys, one question keeps coming up. How does Taehyung balance his desire to stay authentic with the demands of a fast-paced industry? As part of BTS, he can't completely escape the high expectations attached to the group. The world watches his every move, every project he works on, and every decision he makes. But V isn't someone who can be limited by expectations. For him, creating is about feelings, not about chasing trends or meeting other people's expectations. This is what sets him apart from many other artists. While most idols strive to maintain a perfect image, V isn't afraid to show a more human side of himself. He has spoken about how he sometimes feels trapped by the pressures of the industry, how there are days when he feels empty and can't find inspiration. But instead of giving in to the pressure, he uses it as fuel to create something more honest. One example of this is in the process of creating his album Layover. This album is not just a solo project, but a reflection of who he really is. With a jazzier and more sentimental musical feel, Taehyung shows a calmer and more reflective side of himself. Each song on the album has its own story, as if it were a window that opens his emotional world to the listener.